Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Naruto Shippuden episode review. This one is going to be for episode 486, Sasuke's Story Sunrise Part 3, Fuushin. Link in the description if you haven't seen the episode yet to where you can watch it. But yeah, let's get into the review. Overall, another really fun episode, really good. Creepy start, pretty shocking reveal at the end. I didn't expect that. And just overall good progress, good explanation, and I like how kind of almost every character that they're kind of meeting along the way to unraveling this mystery, they're giving some sort of development to, so I do like that, and we'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, let's start off at the beginning. So the Colosseum stuff comes to an end kind of pretty quickly. The attack comes in, Sasuke kind of chases them away. Really creepy opening with just like almost half the audience beginning to turn into exploding humans, and kind of Yamato coming in and kind of having to say like we can't save all of them, just limit the blast damage. And I liked how we saw some wood style stuff, Sasuke trying to stop as many as he could from exploding, and then Orochimaru just casually kind of like getting the guy behind him by covering him in snakes. That was a quite fun thing that Orochimaru is sort of helping, but in his own way. So that is quite fun. And then I liked how they kept a lot of it in kind of mystery. That at the start, like someone throws this kind of dagger from the stands, and like Sasuke doesn't know who it is, but then it's later revealed, and it's part of the huge reveal at the end. But yeah, we then get introduced to one of the key kind of guys behind that's kind of running the Colosseum, that like has people involved in it. Just gonna call him N because I keep forgetting all of the names here. But interesting design on him, and interesting character in that he's not what you'd usually expect from a character that ultimately comes across as this kind of villainous or kind of like morally bad. In that, just the way he talks, he's like, okay, I'm into this and this, that. And then just the really evil line that's a kind of shocking reveal for this character, based on his personality of just like, oh yeah, and then I slaughtered the rest of the KK Genkai users, so that the ones that I have become rarer because there's less of them. That was interesting, and you could see how annoyed Sasuke was getting with this guy, because he's basically he takes KK Genkai users as slaves, effectively, and collects them, and doesn't really see them as people. And they brought back a lot of the kind of references to the Uchiha being basically treated this way. Like, the majority of, like, Naruto, the series, kind of is kind of like that. People trying to steal the Sharingan and stuff like that. It did bring up the question to me, though, of just, like, does no one know that Sasuke has the Rinnegan? Like, is that not the more powerful, like, ocular jutsu? I don't get why like he wouldn't be like, oh wow, you have the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, as opposed to just the Sharingan. But I suppose the whole idea of the legendary Uchiha clan, the Sharingan is kind of more associated with them than the Rinnegan. But still, you'd think more people would be obsessed with the Rinnegan as opposed to the Sharingan. But yeah, we get this backstory about this what's the name of the clan? Chisortal or something like that. This clan that is basically the clan that has the Ketsuryugan KK Genkai, which is established to be this kind of mind control exploding human thing, more or less. We don't have a full reveal on it just yet, but at the very least they explain it as it is an exceptionally powerful genjutsu KK Genkai that was there in the past. And I really like how the story went back to pre like Hashirama, pre Madara, into that kind of era of kind of feuding clans before the kind of ninja villages were established. That was really interesting to hear about, that like some of the deals going on there, and like one of them being kind of married off to the feudal lord, and the feudal lord dying soon after that, and her being blamed because she comes from this clan that has this KK Genkai. And I like how they kept all of the characters kind of, their faces kind of blacked out, like in shadow, that we didn't know like if all of them had the KK Genkai, but just the idea that if you have this clan name, people think that you have that, and they kind of treat you a certain way, which is kind of, I suppose probably similar to the Uchiha, that like not all of them had the Sharingan, maybe all of them had the potential, but not all of them awoke the Sharingan, and they were still kind of treated that way just because they're from the Uchiha clan. And it was just really interesting to get that they eventually then had to hire the Uchiha to kind of protect them, and that's kind of their involvement in the war. I think the flashback ended a little kind of suddenly in midair, kind of, but I assume we'll get more of the reveals coming out about the true kind of motives behind what's going on here. But we obviously have Nawaki and Chino following Sasuke as he heads to Hell Valley, which is the place where this clan basically came to find somewhere that they could, I suppose, be peaceful. And he kind of goes there in part because I suppose his clan has an involvement with them, and kind of as the last Uchiha, he feels some sort of a responsibility on that front. And they kind of bring up, as well as that in the start of the episode, the whole idea of like Chino accused Sasuke of like, you're just as bad as the perpetrator to a victim. But she was saved by Sasuke at the start of this episode, and they kind of had that conversation just before they kind of all left together. And we obviously then get the fight between this lava style user who uses a rubber lava style. I don't think we've ever seen that before. I didn't obviously make the connection between like what on earth is the connection between like lava and rubber, but I guess like some of the other lava style users have sort of used it like that, kind of like that sort of stickiness, that sort of thing, the kind of special, kind of more kind of fluid based kind of techniques almost. So it sort of makes sense, but there's probably an explanation out there somewhere. But it just was a little weird, but it was still cool that like it completely nullifies lightning even more so than just Earth style. So this shinobi, who wasn't like crazy powerful but had a KK Genkai, was able to use just the kind of like the kind of weakness kind of strength thing between all the different elemental styles, and kind of got the advantage there. But Sasuke very quickly got the advantage, just instantly Amaterasu, and kind of gets the victory. And then this is where he basically searches this guy's mind, and we get the reveal about who Fuushin actually is. The whole time we're wondering what's going on here, and we get that this guy was actually hired by Nawaki. Like suddenly Nawaki's important, having like not been important at all, because Chino of the two had got the most focus. He was just kind of there. So I like that they did something with him, that the reveal is just like, no, he was kind of behind it all in when it came down to it. He is Fuushin. That he gave the dagger to fire at Sasuke, and Sasuke sort of had previously figured it out because he remembered the different dagger, and it kind of all comes out here during this confrontation. And the ultimate kind of thing, the reveal is that like, oh, he kind of does the almost like explosion style thing where like they get the cut and they begin to like swell up, but instead he kind of does that but shrinks down. And so it's almost, you almost get this idea, it's this like exploding human style transformation into a kind of bigger guy, and then he just reverses that and he's the thin normal Fuushin. And we basically look like we're about to get a fight in the next episode. And I assume an explanation about what the Tetsuri Yugan is, given that the title of the next episode is Part 4 Tetsuri Yugan. So I'm excited about that. Finally learning what the technique is, seeing how exactly it works, and so on. So, overall, good episode. Maybe not as good as the previous two, just because it was a lot of explanation in the middle of the episode. And it was kind of very focused on a lot of kind of like some key reveals in the middle and then a key reveal at the end. But still a very solid part of this arc, which has overall been like really, really interesting. This Sasuke story novel adaptation arc. I think I've really liked it. I think there's 2 more episodes left before we move into the Shikamaru story, which I'm excited for that. But this one is definitely kind of got me very excited to see what's coming next. So I think that's about it. All I want to say there. Like, I hope that, as I said, I hope they go into a little bit more depth on the kind of clan from the past, explain it a little bit better, give some more insight into what exactly has happened. I think there's still aspects of Sasuke's character arc that still need to be resolved, with regards to the whole like Is he like truly trying to save people or what? I like the kind of emotional reaction from Sasuke when he kind of came to the conclusion that as much as he's done all of this to keep the Leaf Village safe and attacks, he stayed away from the village to keep the village from being attacked in case he was there. That still happened anyway, and how angry he was that happened, and like Orochimaru was just kind of looking at him like, what's he thinking about? I really like that moment that they didn't like super hit it home like what we were meant to think about that, but very clearly it's kind of him caring about the village now and not wanting any of that sort of stuff to happen. The only thing is that I really do hope that come the end of this arc, we do have some sort of a thing where we link Sasuke back to the village, where he comes back, reports to Kakashi, sees Sakura. I still want to see something like that to have a kind of really nice ending and kind of get some relationship development going before the next kind of 2 arcs. But yeah, that's basically all I want to say about the episode. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on the episode and the review. And I'll end by saying links in the description to my Twitter and Tumblr if you want to follow me on social media. And then also links in the description to my Patreon campaign and PayPal donation link if you want to help support my channel. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.